Parents, let this be a warning to all of you, a sort of turning point, a wake-up call, because your child could be the next Tyler Robinson. According to the FBI, Robinson's father recognized his son in the videos and photos released of the shooter. Robinson then confronted his son. Allegedly, he then confessed to his dad, who then turned him into police. As for a motive, President Trump told Newsmax's Rob Schmidt that Robinson was in a romantic relationship with a trans person who is now cooperating with the FBI. Utah's Governor Spencer Cox confirming that today.
The roommate was a romantic partner, a male transitioning to female.
You know, Dana Bash, she kind of seems shocked at the trans connection. But of course, all of you at home, including myself, we're not. You know, my heart breaks for the Robinson family because they too have now lost a son. Thankfully, his father stepped up and did the right thing.
I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well.
By all accounts, Robinson appeared to have had a normal, stable upbringing. He also seemed to be a highly intelligent young man. He was the recipient of a presidential scholarship.
Okay.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
However, authorities say Robinson only attended 1 semester at Utah State University, and at the time of his arrest, he was living on his own with his trans partner, studying to be an electrician. So what happens? Where did it go so wrong? Family members telling law enforcement that Robinson openly discussed his political rage.
The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
You know, as a mom myself, I can only imagine how helpless Robinson's parents felt watching their son spiral into a bottomless abyss of rage. I guarantee you that same scenario is happening in homes across the nation as we speak. Kids are becoming losers, these sort of parasites. They're mad at the world, right? Filled with rage for becoming a loser, studying gender studies, and they can't get a job. And rather than take accountability, responsibility for their state in life, they want to look to blame someone else for it. You know, I did a deep dive on social media and found Tyler's mother's Facebook page, which has, since been deleted. And there were all these family photos. They were hunting, they were camping every weekend. They seemed very loving, and that's great and all, but you know what? I have to ask, was faith an integral part of his upbringing? Because when you don't have faith as a foundation for your family, you are on the shakiest of grounds. Many parents are now prioritizing going to games and the travel teams every weekend. It happened. My daughter, she can't even go to her cousin's house. They're there. But what happened to dedicating Sunday to Family Day, to going to Mass, to going to a faith service? Charlie Kirk was very outspoken about this.
We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom. Christians. Our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. And this is where I think is a great rallying cry. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody, if you are Christian and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, these two threats are combining forces to come after us. And it's time that the church stands and rises up against it.
Yep. You know, if you think about it, this is why Charlie was killed, for his faith. in my mind, and I'm sure yours, Charlie is no doubt a martyr. He was a man that practiced what he preached, spreading the word of the Lord every single chance he could. And that is why he was ultimately hated so much. Every single person that you're seeing online, mocking, justifying, even cheering Charlie's cold-blooded killing, all have one thing in common. They do not have God in their hearts.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow. That's good.
Girl, someone had to do it. But he was a misogynist. He was a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs.
So if you had a magical wand, a magical button that you could press and keep him from being assassinated, would you press that?
No. I think things happen for a purpose. And if that's how his life was ended, then that's how it was ended. So
I feel bad for their parents, right? I mean, because this is how the godless also shows their anger and frustration, like they did when they rioted in the streets for George Floyd, for BLM. They want the violence. They want the bloodshed. They want to silence you. They do not want peaceful dialogue. And this is how the faithful shows their anger and grief in prayer, in worship, calling for healing. We are not the same. Thank God, right? History is repeating itself, okay? You see those men right there? The truth is once again under attack. JFK, MLK, CK, the trans garbage, this woke DEI nonsense, all of it is destructive lies, metastasizing like a cancer, preying on the young throughout our country. Just look at some of the comments online, right? After Robinson's arrest was announced, they're supportive of him. Their hate on display. And incredibly, the majority of people that are glorifying the assassination online, as exposed by Scott Pressler, he's a Republican influencer, they're educators. They're in the classroom with your child. They're doctors treating you. They're judges. They're lawyers. They're supposed to be esteemed people. God help us. What we are witnessing is the collapse of moral order. What was once noble is being mocked. What was once evil is now being celebrated. All of this is actually biblical. As Paul wrote in Romans 1:22, claiming to be wise, they became fools. And then in Romans 1:21, they did not honor and glorify him as God or give him thanks, but instead they became futile and godless in their thinking, and their senseless minds were darkened. Our younger generation has not simply lost its way. It has chosen delusion over truth, with the media repeating the same lies every single day.
Again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
He's also a controversial figure at times.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as justification to send in federal troops. I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
Justification? There's no justification for killing a young father of two small children. Charlie Kirk was ultimately a fierce defender of the truth, a defender of Christ. We now take comfort knowing that he's now with the Lord and that his legacy will live on forever and that his words were stronger than any bullet will ever be. As for those who cheered his death, I pray the demons rejoice when I die too.